broadcasting across the nation from the East Coast to the West, keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side, with leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm.
Welcome to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm, the show that makes you go, technology news of the week, the show for the everyday person talking about technology, broadcasting across the nation with insightful segments on subjects weeks ahead of the mainstream media, or months, or 6 months, if it depends on which articles they are. We are welcoming our radio audience of 35 million listeners to an hour of insightful technology news. I'm Nathan Mumm, your host and technologist with over 30 years of technology expertise. Our co-host Mike Corday is in studio today. He's the award-winning author and the human behavior expert.
Now, I'm glad I'm the only one.
What's that? You're like,
the award-winning author. I'm glad I'm the award-winning author.
Are you the award-winning author?
I'm glad I am. I'm glad there's nobody else to be the award-winning author.
Okay, well, you know that I haven't written a book yet. Well, what should my
yes,
book
you
title?
Did.
I did an AI book.
AI booked it.
I did it back when the
name
AI
on it.
Yeah, I did. I didn't get out there earlier enough to make the money like that other guy did with this AI book. Now we're live streaming during our show on 4 of the most popular platforms, including YouTube, Twitch TV, Facebook, and LinkedIn. We encourage you to visit us online. Visit us at techtimeradio.com and become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/techtimeradio. We're friends from different backgrounds, but we bring the best technology so possible weekly for our family, friends, and fans to enjoy. We're glad to have Odie, our producer, at the control panel today. Welcome, everyone. Let's start today's show.
Now on today's show.
All right, welcome to Tech Time Radio. Are you doing a jig there?
No, I'm trying to get asymmetrical with the background.
You're trying to get asymmetrical with the background?
Or
Okay.
I'm trying to get symmetrical. Never mind.
Okay.
It's too early for me to be talking.
Okay. Welcome to Tech Time Radio. Today on the show, we have our Say What segment on crazy stories and technology. And of course, we also have our...
Should we say why we're saying what?
We say what? That's right. Say what? We got some craziness. We have a couple updates on stories that we had last week on the show. I can't wait for the Nathan Nugget and our technology fail and those to come on up. And of course, we have our standard features, including Mike's mesmerizing moment, that technology fail, and the Nathan Nugget, and of course, our pick of the day whiskey tastings to see if our selected whiskey pick gets 0, 1, or 2 thumbs up at the end of the show. Now, we have a couple listeners that said that we should, on last week's stream, said that we should change the show to whiskey tasting and a little technology on the side. So you know what?
Who said that?
Well, we had a couple people on the show that maybe we went a little long, I guess, in our whiskey items last week. So they were saying that on our stream.
I find that funny because maybe not even 5% of the show is whiskey.
Well,
no, see, whiskey is the reason why we can do the show. At least for me.
That's exactly, and me too. No, we both. If we didn't have the whiskey to have in between these articles,
I couldn't do the show if we didn't have whiskey.
Okay, there you go. All right, so there you go. So it's our vice, everybody. So, but thank you for letting us know.
No, it's not a vice. It's medication.
Yeah, it's not a vice.
Oh, it's a medication.
It's medication.
Okay, it's medication. All right, that's what we got. All right. Well, hopefully we'll see if we get a 0, 1, or 2 thumbs up at the end of the show. We got a cork bottle today, so I'm good. If you notice, we did a little heavier pour. We'll explain that a little bit.
You did a heavy pour.
I did. All right. Now,
I think there's something going on.
There is. Let's move into the latest headlines in the world of technology.
Here are our top technology stories of the week.
All right, story number 1. Windows is getting rid of the blue screen of death after 40 years. Have you ever seen the blue screen of death?
Are you kidding?
Well, I'm just trying to bring it in.
Everybody knows what the blue screen of death. Everybody has seen it.
Okay, all right.
Odie said something bad. Didn't
Oh,
he?
what's that? What'd you say?
I don't think I've ever seen it.
You've never seen the blue screen of death
No, I don't think I have.
on any Windows
On
boot up? You've
anything?
never
I've
had a
been-
problem with
I've
it.
been-
And so that's what happens when your computer hangs up, or you have to reboot. It comes up with a big blue screen. It's got normally sometimes a
It's got
frowny
a
face,
QR code.
QR code. It tells you what's going on, and then it'll normally restart your computer and it'll dump information into a log file. You've never seen that.
I don't think I have.
Wow. Okay. Well, you know what? I do know somebody.
I think maybe Odie drinks more than we do.
All right. Well, let's go to Lisa Walker for more on the story.
The blue screen of death, or as most people call it, BSOD, has been present in Microsoft's OS since 1985 in Windows version 1. It has served as the stable error screen for Windows for nearly 40 years, but that's about to change. The new design drops the traditional blue color, frowning face, and QR code in favor of a simplified black screen. The simplified BSOD resembles the black screen you'd see during a Windows update. However, it will list the stop code and faulty system driver that you wouldn't always see during a crash dump. Are we okay with going to the black screen instead of the traditional blue? What do you think, Nathan?
All right, so this is the kind of
I don't know if I like this.
you don't like this. I don't like this either.
Well, I hate seeing the blue screen of death, but
you know what happens?
Just a black screen, I might be thinking that it's
a Windows
it's
update,
a video problem,
or a video. There's a lot of different things here. The blue screen was really significant in saying, "Oops, I have a problem." I mean, Mac, when it first came out, Mac would have like this little Mac icon that would come on out with a frowny face that would be in the middle of your screen, or a question mark. There's some of these items that I don't know why you would change, because we have developed and understand what happens to that. Now, you could have kept the blue screen of death and just done the same features that they're talking about, but somehow it must take an extra one line of code to have that blue screen drop on there, that they decided to remove it, and it's going back. Now, what is nice in this new upgrade that's going to be happening sooner than later is that it will have the ability to have the error codes on the screen itself, so you can take a screenshot with your phone. You can take a look at what that error code is instead of going into the dump files. But recent versions of the blue screen of death have already had those error codes on there already, so you can still see IRQ issue, blah 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 blah, or whatever's going on. Well, let's see what we got here.
They should take this opportunity to do something funner, like
having the Google Chrome things with the little dinosaur.
Well, yeah, or having some, graphics like the screen is cracking
or something like that,
or explosions or something on there. That would
make it much better. Well, David Weston, the vice president of enterprise and OS security at Microsoft, says it's really an attempt on clarity and providing better information and allowing us and the customers to really get to what the core of the issue is, so we can fix it faster.
That doesn't make any sense, David.
Is that
it's just a color, buddy.
It's just a background.
We all know what blue means.
Blue means that there's a screen of death, and I don't get it. Well, Windows says, guess what? You really don't have a choice to complain, because coming on out in Windows 11 later this summer, it's going to have the feature already imposed with the black screen. And then they're also adding a new quick machine recovery feature, which is designed to quickly restore machines that can't boot. So what's really interesting about this whole thing is that Microsoft has so many things that they can take a look at. They've had that whole recording issue, which was where it record all your browser stuff and you can restore stuff that's been kind of a major issue. Windows is using this to say what they're saying is that it addresses CrowdStrike incident last year that left millions of Windows machines booting into the blue screen of death without knowing what was going on. This black screen now will help people understand what's going on. I don't like it. I don't like it. Keep it blue.
I don't really understand the rationale. Like, oh, we need more clarity. Let's change the color from blue to black.
I guess maybe black's easier to take a picture of. I don't know.
Maybe they just need to save that line of code.
That's literally probably
it's just
one
taking
digit.
up too much space.
That one digit. Really, have you loaded anything in today's world now? Back in the old days, they actually used to optimize. Windows 3.1.1 used to come on like 4 or 5 floppy disks, and it was optimized code. Now they just throw the code out there, and it's huge. There is no optimization in the code this year.
I don't know. I think this is just
all right. I don't like it.
I feel like this is just something to let people know that they're still out there doing stuff.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just a press release to say.
I don't know.
Like they're making progress on it?
No, like they're like saying, we're still here, and your machine is
Still
being
crap.
or that. Yeah,
there you
that'll
go.
work.
Okay. Well, there you go. All right. make us feel much better with story number 2, Mike. I'm sure you can help us do
How
it.
am I going to do that?
Well, I don't know. I'm sure this is an uplifting.
Yeah, sure it is. Do
okay.
you know what Fortnite is?
The video game. I have tried to play it a couple times. Yes.
You're not a Fortnite.
I don't think
you're a Fortnite
No,
guy.
I lose to like 7-year-olds, and I hear them laughing in the background with their mom telling them to go do stuff, and I can't handle being a 50-plus-year-old man losing to some little 7-year-old going.
I know. I used to play this quite a bit. And
Okay.
my son was really good at it. He used to beat me up all the time on Fortnite.
Okay.
Well, the FTC has approved $126 million in Fortnite refunds
What?
because of dark patterns.
Okay. What are so? Hopefully you're going to
Must
explain.
be a black screen of death or something.
Okay. Well. Okay. Explain a little bit more.
Okay, the Federal
on
Trade Commission has approved $126 million in refunds to be sent to 969,173 Fortnite players
Wow.
as part of a settlement over allegations that Epic Games, the creator of Fortnite, has tricked users into making unwanted purchases.
this.
At the same time, the agency has reopened the claims portal for eligible Fortnite players to submit refund claims, which will be examined for the third round of refunds. This latest development marks the second phase of the settlement the FTC has reached with Epic Games in December of 2022, in which the company agreed to pay $520 million to settle allegations of violating children's privacy laws and using dark patterns to trick millions into making unintentional in-game purchases.
All right.
These so-called game patterns include displaying confusing purchasing prompts, promoting misleading offers, allowing underage account holders to make purchases without parental consent, charging players unintentionally by waking the game from sleep mode during the loading screen or while they attempted to preview an in-game item.
So explain that charging players unintentionally by waking the game from sleep mode. So if the game goes into sleep mode,
I have no idea what that is because
they would turn it back on. So if you're in sleep mode in Fortnite, they're going on in and turning it back on for you to do purchases.
I have no idea.
Okay,
That's not my bailiwick. I don't know what a sleep mode is in a game.
I don't know.
That doesn't make any sense.
A sleep mode on a computer or a phone makes sense, but I don't.
Yeah,
okay,
I don't know
all
what
right.
that is. Anyway, these charges occur without additional confirmation, like, are you sure you want to pay that? And those attempting to dispute and reverse them had to go through complex processes that make it likely for them to give up permanently. So, this is probably why Epic Games receives a lot of hate.
Yeah. Okay.
Because that's definitely pretty
pretty slimy.
It's pretty slimy.
All right. So you know what? Some of these return policies, I will say Amazon, as much as we give Amazon a bunch of crap, and Mr. Bezos just got married, whatever.
Did he really?
Yeah, in Italy. Didn't you hear about that? I mean,
No,
he
I don't
shut
pay
down
attention
almost,
to
He
that.
shut down almost all of Italy just so that he could be there with his celebrities and everybody. But Amazon
good
at
for
least
him.
has a nice
I hope it
return
lasts
policy.
more than a week.
Okay. At least the best thing about Amazon is the return policy is pretty easy to use, right? You go in, you say you want to return it, you drop it off at a location, and you get refunded. Some things are very difficult to return. I just tried to return an item that I had purchased, and I had to go
For
through
Fortnite?
not for Fortnite, but for something else that had like 7 different steps for approvals. There was a point where I was going to give up, and then I just said, "Screw it, I'm going to continue."
Yeah. Okay. So, business and ethics are mutually exclusive,
Okay.
right? This is all set up for businesses to get your money and keep your money.
So if they agreed to pay $520 million, they must have made even more than that from the purchases, right?
Well, I'm sure they made quite a bit of money, and hopefully, unlike some of the things that get slapped against Facebook,
yeah.
where they're like, that's just like us buying a coffee in regular world.
Okay.
Maybe this will help. I don't know.
All right.
But if you have performed Fortnite purchases between January of 2017 and September of 2022,
That's a pretty big span.
that fall into the category of dark patterns as those defined by the FTC, you are invited to submit a claim through this portal until July 9th of this year.
Okay.
You must be 18 years old to complete a claim, However, parents or guardians can do it on their children's behalf. So, that sounds almost like here's a loophole, but there you go.
There you go.
So,
right.
too bad. Fortnite it's a fun game if you've ever played it.
The graphics look really good. They keep on updating the graphics, don't they?
Well, yeah. I mean, Fortnite is based on the systems of seasons and
characters. And sometimes you got
and,
Superman on there. Sometimes you have SpongeBob. I mean, it seems to be very seasonal and uniquely different.
It's set up. It is one of these games that is kind of like microtransactions.
Yeah,
it's based on microtransactions.
Oh, microtransactions. I may ask you about that in your Mike Mesmerizing
moment.
I'm
pretty sure you all will.
I will be.
Okay,
all right. All right, are you ready for story number 3?
No.
Story number 3. Technology experts, along with parents, have found a way to reduce their kids' screen time while improving their social skills and creative thinking.
You mean taking away their phone?
Hang on. Here we go. Let me do the story. There's a whole lead in here.
There's a whole story.
Yeah, when Carson Morris's 9-year-old daughter asked for a smartphone last year, her reaction was, hell no. Morris is a mental health provider in Portland, Maine, public school system, and she was firmly against smartphones, having seen how social media and abundant screen time could shorten students' attention spans and give them anxiety. But she wanted her child to have some independence. So she called friends, arranged play dates, and reached out to her grandparents on her own. So when her daughter turned 10, Morris got her a special phone. For that gift, it provided all the benefits she wanted. Morris had the way to lay some groundwork, though. It would be annoying if her daughter, who was also 8 years old, were to start calling their friends smartphones all the time. So she told her neighbors about her plan and suggested they consider getting these special phones also. Silva bought in immediately, excited for the opportunity.
This is a party line.
Hang on just a second. Don't hang on. Excited for the opportunity to placate their own eager kids with this technology. And over the next couple of months, Morris kept nudging people. The peer pressure paid off. Now about 15 to 20 families in the South Portland neighborhood have installed, you guessed it, a traditional landline.
This is dumb.
They've created a retro bubble in which their children can easily call their friends without bugging a parent to borrow their cell phone, in which parents can now live blissfully free of anxiety about the downside of smartphones. In the past few years, interest in old school technology has been on the rise, driven partly by desperate adults seeking smartphone alternatives for their kids. Now, what we have in the new technology is called a dumb phone. On Reddit, parents shared this information about going full 90s with a desktop computer installed in a living room, a Nintendo 64, and, of course, a telephone connected to a landline. Now, in March, after the millennial mom posted on Instagram about getting her home phone for her kids, she received scores of compliments from parents saying they've done the same or plan to soon. Now,
Okay.
Jonathan Haidt, the author of The Anxious Generation, said that many parents are having problems with their children trying to use smartphones. So everybody should do what South Portland did and form a landline pod. That is exactly where parents see. The idea of this is that you pick up a phone, you have to dial a number, and then you can talk to people. Now, parents are loving this. They're getting in the on their pods. They got corded phones that everybody can talk to on these devices.
It's a party line.
With a large cord, they can then have their children listen in and have communication. Now, only after a few months, more and more people are getting comfortable with this program, having their children go on over and pick up a phone to talk to people on the other side. So let's talk about it.
What do we got to talk about here?
So this is the idea. So here's what parents are doing.
This is insanity.
I like how you're freaking out about it, and I'm just overjoyed for it.
Here's the thing.
I do.
See, this is
my one critique would be instead of the landline phone, I'd get a small flip phone.
A flip phone.
Yeah, that way they could take it everywhere.
Here's the thing. Here's what I'm not flipping out over this idea. I am flipping out that this is just ridiculous.
Well, no, it's been a proven fact that a generation has already tested this method out before.
I know.
Do you know what
this is an indication.
There have been several generations.
No, this is an indication
that we're regressing.
No, it's not about regressing. It's about that we are starting to figure out that our technological life has is far beyond our control and our healthy ability to do things, right? And so every time we get on we talk about this all the time with other stuff.
Yeah.
We're going backwards technologically in order to save ourselves from all kinds of stuff.
There was
right?
a time. We got
writing your.
it.
Well, yeah, you write your passwords on paper.
Yeah.
Now you go back to that. What else? There's other ones that we've talked about.
So now we're going back to a landline that you can call people.
Now people
CDs and
CDs.
tapes are
Polaroid
coming-
cameras, whatever. But
Polaroid camera.
Digital media is coming back.
we've got
Physical.
this is.
Physical
I
media.
think what I find so funny about this is like some sort of revolutionary.
Dude, this is
kind of
breaking.
idea.
This is a huge article.
This is this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of.
A million people have up like this. On
First off,
Reddit subgroups.
your 10-year-old child does not need a whole lot of independence.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, see, the whole idea about this is you don't have independence because now they're in a shared room. They have to take their cord there so everybody can hear their conversations.
Yeah, it's basically Luddite philosophy.
This is how I dated. This is how I was a teenager. This is what I did.
I don't know. Mixtapes are next, I guess. We're going to start.
Probably will.
have already come back.
Have comebacks. So here's what parents are saying.
I'm talking about having a recorder next to a radio thing and then pressing record when the song comes on and waiting. Mixtapes in the 80s.
You had to talk over. You had to talk. Nobody talks over because these stations don't have DJs anymore.
You are completely not following here.
They don't. Most of these DJs don't exist. So I can go to
completely. I'm talking about the actual effort you had to put in an 80s mixtape than today because you had to sit by the radio,
unpause it,
had
record.
To wait. Okay, whatever. Just go to the next one.
No. Keep on
You're
going.
just too busy. You're just too busy. You're too busy trying. You're too busy trying to be the expert here.
No. Keep on going. Keep on going. So you're talking about the pause button that you used to do on the radio?
No,
yeah, I'm talking about you. You had to sit next to the radio until the song of choice came on, then press record, and then wait for the next one. So doing an 80s mixtape was like this huge process.
Yeah.
And now, if you do a mixtape today, it's like going on Spotify and being like this, and this. Oh, here, I love you.
They have the playlist, so you can do. Well, here's what the people said on this.
I just find this ridiculous because it's
her daughter can now engage people in a conversation. She says it's mind blowing.
Yeah.
She can talk
I'm sure
on the
it
phone.
Is mind blowing.
Well,
I'm sure it is mind blowing. I grew up with this stuff, and it's just funny that.
Well, I'll just go to Odie here, a little bit of a younger generation, right? Do you love calling and talking to customer service people on the phone?
Is it an actual customer person?
No.
Yeah.
Maybe, or maybe
I don't
not.
mind it.
You don't mind it. Okay.
I truly I grew up with a house phone.
Yeah.
It wasn't connected to a landline or anything. It was cordless.
Okay.
But I did have phone etiquette, okay? And I'm okay with that.
That's good.
I didn't have a corded phone.
Well, that's okay. Remember at the very end of the life cycle of the landlines, they had the big...
But I do think I'm glad that this is making a comeback in the weirdest kind of way.
Yeah.
Because a lot of thing that my sister and I talk about is that, or people my age talk about the younger generation, like my brother's age, is that the awkward tween phase is not much of a thing anymore. They go from kids straight to wanting to be a teenager.
Yep.
So with this coming back, it kind of instills that you still need a parent. You don't need that independence of a 10-year-old,
Yeah, you can talk to your friends on there. The parents
I just find this funny because this is presented in some revelatory way. It's like,
well, that's just...
It's a miracle from heaven.
That's just millennial parenting.
This is just a rotary phone system, okay?
Everything.
It is a rotary phone system.
But I'm excited for it.
Have you seen kids try to use rotary phones?
Oh my God.
Have you seen those on videos?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the most craziest thing in the world. They have no idea how to put their hand in it and then actually move it on over. They
did the same thing with like the Nintendo
original Nintendo.
Yeah, have you seen? Oh my God, I think it was with my brother, who is 15, by the way.
Okay.
If I gave him an iPod like the classic, I think it would blow his mind.
He'd have to see the little screen and use up and down arrows to hit play.
Not the up and down arrows, but the little scroll.
Oh, the scroll bar, yeah.
And then the fact that you have to plug in your headphones.
Yeah.
It's not just a Bluetooth thing, and you have to recharge it. You have to the action of loading content onto that thing.
What? It's not
Yeah.
just automatically there?
It's just not automatically there.
What? These are revolutionary ideas.
That's coming back, by the way.
I know.
I
all
think
this
you should
is.
be telling
I'll just
this
tell you the
while you're on
80s
your cordless phone.
The 80s and the 90s. If you want to do a business right now, you just go and buy all the 80s, 90s stuff.
This is, I mean, to me, this is just maddening.
All
I
right.
mean, we
Maddening?
Yeah.
Maddening in what way?
because we already know this exists. We already should be thinking
but the
along these
issue-
lines, but
Listen.
we are jeopardizing all the future
Mhm.
Well, not if we all put landlines back in.
generations because our technology system is pushing so fast, so
Yeah.
quickly, we can't keep up. We're already into an arena where we are far beyond the ability to adapt to our technology,
Mhm.
and it's creating all these problems, social problems, psychological problems
I don't know if you
individually. And
Like
What did you
is
say?
it?
I don't know if you could actually get a landline anymore. It seems
No,
like
not
all
a
these
landline.
are
Yeah,
voice
you
over
can get
IP.
landlines.
I don't know if you can. Can you?
yeah,
Maybe in some rural.
Yeah.
I don't know if
I have
Yeah.
I have a friend who still has a landline.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, there you go.
I don't, because why would you pay for two different phone systems? Why would
Because
you
that
pay for a
landline, you can run a bulletin board service on it.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna get a 50 or 500 baud
Modem,
modem
and you're
and
gonna hook it
set up a bulletin board.
You know what?
in
You should
today's-
probably do that right now, and that would probably be a huge trend center in the next 6 to 8 months.
I don't
And
know.
you can
You know,
make a fortune.
What's nice about all this technology coming back is that it kind of opens up. Right now, if you have a smartphone, you're okay.
Yeah.
But if you don't like the smartphone, you're kind of limiting yourself from the
A lot of
everyday
stuff.
thing. Yeah, from a lot of stuff. If
Y-
you just have cash on you, like there's no payphones anymore. Imagine if you're stranded and you don't have your phone wallet.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Yep. We can. This is.
Let's bring
these are
back
all-
payphones.
These are all societal growing pains.
Mhm.
You know, they still have
And-
payphones in Europe,
Yeah, they
and they use
Europe.
and people use them.
There should
Yeah.
be, but our infrastructure is everything is based on money. So
Yeah.
if the phones are getting used, why should we have them?
That's right.
And then
Because they're a good emergency.
All
Well,
right. Well, that ends our top technology stories of the week. Moving on. Up next, we have our Say What segment that we're going to be talking about some even more unique stories.
And
But-
the mumbles.
Yeah, that's right. Buckle up as we drive 88 miles per hour in our next segment. You're listening to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. See you after the commercial break.
maybe you should try saying we need to use a rotary phone to introduce the next segment.
Okay, here we go. All right, commercial break.
Looking for custom glass solutions for your next commercial project? Hartung Glass Industries is your trusted partner in custom glass fabrication. For over 100 years, Hartung has delivered proven manufacturing expertise, comprehensive product offerings, and dependable service and quality. From energy-efficient facades to custom shower doors, we create glass solutions tailored to your project needs. With 8 facilities across the U.S. and Canada, we combine national expertise with a local touch-ensuring faster service and unparalleled customer care. Hartung Glass Industries, where quality meets innovation. Visit hartungglass.com to learn more.
Well, welcome back to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. Our weekly show covers the top technology subjects without any political agenda. We verify the facts, and we do it with a sense of humor in less than 60 minutes, and of course, with a little whiskey on the side. Today, Mark Gregoire, a whiskey connoisseur, is not in the studio.
Obviously.
So we have our producer filling in. Odie, what has Mark chosen for us today?
Well, today we are drinking the Wild Turkey 101 8-year-old bourbon. Directly from their website, it's crafted by Jimmy Russell and rooted in a time-tested recipe. This exquisite bourbon is the result of utilizing hand-picked small batch bourbons that have been aged for a minimum of 8 years, with notes of vanilla, clove, toffee, charred oak, lemon zest, and black cherry on palate with long and lingering brown sugar, dried fruit, vanilla, and allspice.
Okay,
You guys getting any of that?
I got the allspice.
No lemon zest?
I did not get a lemon zest. Did you get a
Vanilla?
lemon zest? I did get vanilla.
Vanilla's in there
Sure,
twice.
why not?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
It's from the Campari Group, Wild Turkey Distillery in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. Classified as a straight bourbon, aged 8 years, 100 proof. 75% corn, 13% rye, and 12% malted barley.
Yeah, I'm starting to be able to tell that this is a mostly
corn, rye.
corn-based thing because it's sweet.
All right.
Oh.
What are you thinking so far, Mike?
It's okay.
Okay.
It's not a bad taste. It's very mild so far.
Yeah, I like mine.
Do you guys want to know the price now or later?
You tell us now.
How much do you think it goes for?
$39.
Oh, okay. You were saying it was expensive earlier.
Well, I bet you it's $39. Is that about right?
Michael?
I'll up the ante and say this is about $50.
Okay, it's 45. I give it to Mike then.
Okay.
But yeah, please do not forget to like and subscribe. Drink responsibly.
How do you give it to Mike? The price is right. That's over. That doesn't work.
He said 50.
Yeah, but it was
about
40.
50. You said it was
39. You're 6 away.
Okay. All right.
He's 5 away.
Okay.
We're not going by the price is right.
Price is right. If
No,
you're over,
no,
that's okay. Okay.
No.
All right.
Well, if
For those of you joining us right now, The Price is Right is something that happens on that old weird thing called the TV.
You know what? I think that is going to come back too.
Which we used to get on party lines and talk about.
And you know what? It used to be free. You know what? You didn't have to pay for your television to watch stuff. You used to just have it on.
what?
Yeah.
It was free.
Oh, yeah.
It had commercials.
A long time ago in a society far away.
You're saying you didn't have to pay cable for it?
You didn't have to pay any money for it.
So it was just like on, what do you call that?
There were 4 channels.
Yeah. Okay, so
Rabbit ears. It was on Rabbit ears. It was over the air.
Okay.
They were transmitted by UHF.
Okay.
Wasn't it UHF?
Yep,
Yeah,
that was
UHF. And you just had to get the right signal, and you could get NBC, ABC, CBS,
I know
and
about
PBS.
that. I know about that.
Okay.
I just didn't know that it was on one of those public channels, I guess.
Oh, just regular channels. It wasn't public. There wasn't.
Okay, not
This is
public.
why. This is back in the day, man.
This is going to come back in style. I'm going to create.
You get on your rotary
I'm
phone
pretty
and talk
sure
about The Price is Right.
That
all right.
cable is cheaper than streaming right now.
Yes, but you didn't even have to have cable. This was free over the air.
Right.
So you didn't
With
pay
an
for it.
antenna.
With an antenna. And you still got commercials.
Yes.
So I didn't have to pay $20
That's
a
what-
month to watch commercials. I got
Right.
them for free.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
All
Tuba.
right. Okay.
That's
All
what
right.
happens when you apply consumerist philosophies and policies to a society.
All right. Well, let's move on from our whiskey tasting. Are you going to say drink responsibly?
You already did.
I did already.
Okay.
man.
All right.
She
Okay.
said-
There you go.
Drinking
All right.
too much?
I did have a big pour. There you go. So moving on. Let's move into our feature segment. Today we have our favorite segment called.
This is not our favorite segment.
Well, it's my favorite segment called
This is
Say What.
When have we ever done this?
You know what?
Anytime. Say What.
He wasn't here the time that we did
We've
this.
done it like twice. So
Oh,
here we go.
okay.
Here we go.
Well, this
Say
is
what.
my favorite intro.
Okay.
What? Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you. Say what one time.
All right. Here we go.
Okay,
Say
where's that
what.
from? Where's that from?
Pulp Fiction.
Okay. I just wanna make sure.
Everybody knew that. Okay. Yes.
I just wanted to make sure you knew where the reference
absolutely.
was from.
All right. So these are segments, and before I start, Mike, you have to go. Say what?
I'm not gonna say what.
Say what?
I'll say what for you.
Okay. You'll say what? Say what?
Yeah,
Okay.
Odie.
Here we go. Ready?
Thank you, Odie.
Start, Odie.
Say what?
All right. Download Festival warning as police urge attendees not to wear smartwatches after issues last year. Now, the Lancaster police said on a routine weekend, the force handles around 600 emergency calls. But during the Download Festival weekend, they have 700 more than usual. Body-worn devices such as smartwatches automatically call the emergency services if it senses the wearer of the device has been in a crash or suffered a fatal fall. Now, the problem with this is that this hang-banging big concert that has a mosh pit that fans jump into listening to heavy metal music, and they put their smartwatches up and down. And with that music intensity and the falling down, it seems to set off the alert that they have had either a seizure or a serious crash that has fallen. Police are urging people this year that attend the Download Festival, please put your devices in airplane mode. Otherwise, they do not understand what they need to do with all of the people that are coming in with seizure type alerts to the local emergency system.
You know what's funny about that?
What's that?
Is that now that PSA has gone out, everybody's going to make sure they go to the mosh pit without turning on their
So
thing.
they're going to do it reverse.
It's going to be a reverse effect.
Okay. All right. Disabling your emergency alerts if you're going to go to a metal concert.
I wonder
with
if
loud
my
music.
smartwatch does this.
It'll send out signals and we'll just say, no, don't come to the studio. All right, here we go. Next story. Ready?
Say what?
All right. Cursed new dating app
Maybe
matches
you
you
should say it
based
after he says
on the most deranged
He
things you
wants
can
me to
imagine.
say it every time.
That's right.
Yeah, but you should say
I'm gonna
it. You
bring
should.
the energy bike. It's something you can't do.
You should say
You
it
can't
after
be
the
judging
thing.
by say what.
Okay, here we go. That was a perfect say what. Let's
Thank
talk
you.
about this. There's a new dating app that matches you based on the most deranged things you can imagine. Here's what this app is
Is
called.
it a fetish app?
No, it's a dating app where it will show every side of you. Now, in this, it's called newly developed dating app. It's potential lovers based on the entire internet browsing histories of your machine. The new
that's a
service
bad
is
idea.
straightforward named Browser Dating, and it's the brainchild of a Belgian artiste, Dyers Deporte. After years of creating the one-off projects like Shirt, he's now created the most unique pursuit of love. Now, instead of choosing the best pictures or the best things about yourself that will show you on the positive side, the artist says of the site that he is going to actually upload all of your internet search history. From that, he will then decide on what needs to be done, and then your browser dating experience will expose all of your internet search history.
This is where you should be saying, say what?
That's right. Okay, say what? There you go. So not only does this expose all of your information on the internet, it also probably violates 3 or 4 different privacy items, as you're going to be updating everything you have searched on, including and could be key phrases, password, link sites, and other things that you don't want people to know you have. So
This is a dumb idea.
So if you have your bank account, right? So they're going to know everything about your bank account. They're going to know everything that you searched on. They're going to have huge information on there. Would you upload your search history?
Absolutely not.
Immediately no.
No.
I don't feel like my search history gives me a good depiction of what I want in my love life.
Well, then you can find somebody else online through this app, and you can say, "Well, we have the same things. We both searched for anime movies, and now we have a common match."
That's still a dumb idea. Because
What if I'm searching for somebody else and I'm using my device to do so?
I don't know. So
I don't want my my.
So this is a brainchild.
Here's the deal. Here's
Yeah.
the deal, right? So you're not a writer.
No.
You're not a writer.
Mm.
I'm a writer.
Okay.
You never want to.
Award-winning
You
author.
never. Yeah, I'm the award-winning author. You never want to see my search bar.
Okay.
Exactly. Thank you.
You never
Thank
want to
you.
see that because
Thank you.
there's stuff like there's like how do you commit a murder with
Yeah.
this or
Yeah.
what's the
I
what's,
didn't want to go that route, but yeah.
what's the best way of destroying a whole city block? You know, because you're trying to write stuff, and if that is put into that. You might be having the FBI knocking on your door instead of getting a date with somebody.
Okay.
That's a ridiculous, dumb idea.
Let's say what. All right, here we go. Are we ready for our last story? Here we go.
I think you should say what after he reads the title because it doesn't make sense.
All right. Okay, I'll do
Okay,
that.
hold it.
Okay, here we go.
I'm here for you.
The peeing robot attack dog from Temu was even more surprisingly than we thought when we bought it for some unusual reasons.
Say what?
All right, there we go.
See?
Let's see, we're
See how
developing
that
this.
works?
We're developing this segment on the show. All right, arriving in a slightly battered box, following a series of questionable decisions on Temu, is the robot attack dog. Now, the lab notes that this is called Clippy from the box. So immediately you're met with the
Clippy.
Yeah, Clippy is the name of your dog. So
Clippy is a thing on my desktop from the 90s.
It is. So 90s are kind of
While I still had a rotary phone.
Okay. All right, let's
and
go
watch
Clippy.
Price is Right on free channels.
Now it's immediately opening the box. You see the cheapest, glossiest plastic that could ever be produced. But you know what? That's okay because all of a sudden it comes with an official app which lets you control your robot via Bluetooth, or it comes with a remote. Now, the best part about the Bluetooth app is once you load it, all of your data will be sent to China at the same time that you're using the Bluetooth app.
That's okay. You can.
So that's
you,
from
you can-
Temu. No
you
big
might
deal.
get a date from China.
Okay, there you go. Now let's talk about this robot attack dog. It shoots pellets, it tells stories, and pretends to urinate It is by far the most bizarre device that I have ever seen in my 15 plus years of reviewing different items.
I know that's because in my whole dream of technology is to make something that works exactly like a real thing.
Okay, well, it's very interesting. On the box that you get your choice, it has Fire Bullets Pet printed with a catchy phrase that definitely got my attention right away. The plastic destroyer of worlds is allowed to load these plastic items into it, and it'll shoot it out of its mouth, or the front area where it's supposed to have its mouth. So he's going to throw up on you, and he's going to shoot plastic pellets. Now, these pellets are not for anybody under the age of 18 because they're too small and can be swallowed by young children.
Under the age of 18, huh?
Yeah, so you have to be the age of 18.
I mean, 16-year-olds are choking to death on these pellet dogs.
Well, it says 18 on the side, 18 plus.
That's
now what's also interesting.
I fear for our future.
Is that it has a button that says urinate. When it does this, it lifts its back leg, and it has an audio speaker underneath its belly that actually sounds like something urinating into a toilet bowl with a flush. Nothing better than
that's even stupider.
You have the.
Why are you hating on it?
I'm just
it's so cute.
I'm grumpy.
All right. Now, guess what? The best part is Temu can get this to you in 3 to 4 days.
Woo!
Forget the Boston Dynamics high-end robot dog that costs $10,000+ in memberships. You can get this for $50. And if you're lucky enough and get a Temu special, you can get it all the way down for $29.99.
I think I'd rather just have the liquor.
Well, I you know what? You may think that this sounds bad, but people continuously play with the Clippy dog. It's shown that it averages more than 4 to 6 hours for a toy device, which is one of the highest engaged Temu toys online. So that means people actually play it. Well, that makes sense. If you got pellets that shooting out of its mouth and you're peeing on a bunch of stuff, you give it to your 5 or 6 year old kid. I'm sure he's
or
happy.
Nathan.
Or
Nathan.
Now, it also has the ability to do some rather unique gestures, depending on if you want it to be happy or shake your hand. When you do the handshake one, though, be careful because it does not have any balancing gyros, so the robot will automatically tip over. But the best part is, after it's been tipped over, it does seem to get back up on its hind legs so it can walk again.
Okay, so we watched several videos. Is this the one with the dog that was humping stuff?
Well, they call that the dance mode. So I wouldn't call that humping or anything into that, but it does gyrate.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
it gyrates
exactly
its back,
what it's not looking like. Yeah,
gyrates its back legs in unison for 20 seconds.
But this isn't this one. This one is the one.
No, this is the one that has the same thing. Has the same thing.
No. The one that shoots pellets is not the same one that was.
No, that was the smaller version.
Loving on the phone.
No.
Okay.
So that was not the same guy that threw it out. Now it does come with a big designed Xbox controller, which is kind of imaginative because the controller itself probably costs $20 to $30 just to make the controller to have it work. But don't worry, if your controller breaks, you can always use the Bluetooth technology app that is not in English but in China only. And so it makes it even more fun when you decide to press buttons not knowing what your robot may do. Now,
see, there you go. Say what?
Say what?
Now, the best part is how it violently has face plants. It falls down automatically onto its face itself. Nothing's more exciting than when you're trying to do basic commands, moving left and right with your robot dog, to have it just automatically miss a step and fall face down. But again, as we said, the best part of it is that you also get to have it pick itself up and continue. Now, don't blame me, but I'll tell you right now, there's limited runs on Temu for this pet robot. All you have to do is go to Temu.com and type in pissing robot dog or pee robot dog, and it comes on up as your first hit.
Okay.
All right.
I'm going to do that when I get home.
Okay, there you go.
Can I call them on my rotary?
I'm sure you can do that. Well, you know what? That ends our Say What segments. All right, we're going to take a break. When we return, I think we're going to have our This Week in Technology. So now would be a great time to have some whiskey on the side. We'll see you after this commercial break.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, so you know what? We need people to start liking our social media pages.
If you like our show, if you really like us, we could use your support on patreon.com.
Or is it Patreon? I think it's Patreon.
Okay, Patreon. If you really like us, you can.
And you say I'm
like
the
us
English
in
guy?
Patreon.com.
I butcher the English language?
You know you butcher the English
Okay,
language
so it's
all the
it's
time.
patreon.com.
Patreon.com. If you really like our show, you can subscribe to Patreon.com and help us out.
Oh, and you can visit us on that Facebook platform. You know, the one that Zuckerberg owns?
The one that we always bag on?
Yeah, you can. We're on Facebook, too.
Yeah, like us on Facebook.
Do you know what our Facebook page is?
TechTime Radio.
At TechTime Radio.
Yeah.
You know what? There's a trend here.
It seems to be that there's a trend, and that's TechTime Radio.
Or you can even Instagram with us.
And that's at TechTime Radio.
That's at TechTime Radio. Or you can find us on TikTok.
And it's TechTime Radio.
It's at TechTime Radio.
Like and subscribe to our social
Like
media.
us today. We need you to like us.
Like us and subscribe. That's it?
That's it. That's that simple.
And now, let's look back at this week in technology.
All right, we're going to July 1st, 1952. The trademark of Silly Putty was officially registered. In addition to its success as a toy, other uses for putty have been found. In the home, you can use it to remove substances such as dirt, lint, and pet hair, or ink from various surfaces. The material's unique properties have found niche applications in the medical and scientific fields. Do you know that in the space shuttle, they actually use this to hold equipment and items to the wall as it transfers up into space? What's interesting about this day is that two other major trademarks happened also, including the roar of the MGM lion and the shape of the Coca-Cola bottle boxes that were also trademarked. That was This Week in Technology. If you ever wanted to watch some Tech Time history with over 250 plus weekly broadcasts spanning our 4+ years on video, podcasts, and blog information, you can visit us at techtimeradio.com and watch our older shows. We're going to take a commercial break. No, we're not. We are going to go right now into Mike's mesmerizing moments.
Car on that.
Yep. Welcome to Mike's mesmerizing moment. What does Mike have to say today?
Apparently a lot.
All right, here we go.
What?
Mike,
What?
are impulse purchases in video games or even other major purchases all about the fear of missing out? So we talked about that in your earlier segment.
Is it FOMO?
Is it FOMO? Why do we have all these impulse purchase in video games?
Yeah, FOMO is one reason.
Okay.
And interestingly enough, we had FOMO when we were little. You know what it was called?
What was that?
Keep up with the Joneses.
Okay.
Remember that?
I do remember that saying.
So this is social pressure, in which we try to compete with each other for status or, other pro social activities. So yeah, FOMO is a big one with impulse buying. Also, the after effect is the dopamine hits that you're getting for these buys, which sets up the behavior to keep going. So maybe it starts off with FOMO and then it can become an addictive thing, which is not FOMO.
Okay. All right.
So,
Do you ever play a game where you do an instant purchase online?
yeah,
I've done it. I've done it.
I do it on occasion.
Do you get that dopamine hit after you purchase?
Okay, we get what we don't understand. One of the reasons why we don't understand all this stuff, and one of the reasons why things like Facebook have been so successful, is that we don't realize that this is happening to us.
Okay.
So every time you get a like on your post, that translates into your brain's pleasure pain system going, oh, look, we love this. We have attention. We're getting status. And so your brain gets a dopamine hit. When we do it in a video game, we are doing the same thing because now we're saying, oh, I got this cool skin. And, it's too bad Mark is not here because we could talk about how Mark is like, but we,
Yeah.
because he really poops on this stuff.
Okay.
But Mark,
But he doesn't play video games.
Mark is not a gamer.
No. Remember when he played Sea of Thieves? Did you ever play with him?
Yeah, he was always complaining about.
He was running around.
He was always complaining about all these other little side purchases and things you could do. But that does create, when we do this and we start showing other people that we have, like with Fortnite, when we talked about Fortnite. So Fortnite has all these characters and skins and things that you can get, dances and little emotes and whatnot, and collectively, the more you get, there's more status that's in.
Okay.
involved in that. So you do start to gain these sort of dopamine behavioral modifications.
All right, well, we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, we have the Mark Mumbo Whiskey Review. See you after the break.
Attention, all geeks and pop culture enthusiasts. Get ready for the ultimate celebration of everything geek at Geek Fest West Game Expo, July 18th through the 20th in downtown Everett, Washington. Join us for 3 thrilling days packed with cosmic cosplay, gaming tournaments, retro movies, and a street fair brimming with unique vendors. From the innovative Geektopia Vendor Hall to the Galactic Time Warp showcasing beloved film classics, including Ghostbusters, The Wrath of Khan, and our special 40th anniversary showing of Goonies. There's something for everyone. Plus, participate in interactive events, from keynote speakers each day to special guest artists. Tickets are on sale now. Secure your spot for this epic celebration at geekfest.com. Get your badges from one-day passes to VIP options and don't be left out. Visit geekfest.com. Geekfest West, the biggest gathering of geek fandom in Snohomish County.
The segment we've been waiting all week for. Mark's Whiskey Mumble.
All right, tell us your wisdom, Mark.
Today is July 1st.
Okay.
It's early bird day.
Oh.
What does that mean? Is that a Prime thing?
A Prime? No.
Amazon Prime?
No.
Is it
The
don't we
early
have
bird
Prime
gets the
days?
worm?
Isn't
Don't we have
that
Prime
the
days?
9th and 11th this year?
It is.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
okay.
coming up.
That's summer.
So-
That's the summer event. That's not
it's-
Prime Day. That's the summer event.
It's Nathan's
I thought
favorite
it was Prime.
Amazon
No,
Whatever.
event.
it's Prime Day summer event because they
So,
now have a fall event.
This wild day, early bird day, is all about being first in line to snatch up the best of what is to offer.
So it is Prime Day.
Shops, restaurants, and supermarkets are filled with early risers eager to claim the top deals, meals, and goods before anyone else. Become a morning person, Mike.
Okay, so shouldn't this be Black Friday?
No,
Oh.
become a
Black
morning
Friday.
person, Michael.
I am
Channel
not
your
going to do
inner
that.
channel your inner Nathan if you
Ah.
really want to seize the day, says Mark, who is still lounging in bed with absolutely no justification.
Yeah, I tried channeling my inner Nathan once, and I had to
Mhm.
go to therapy.
Wow.
And since we're on the topic of early bird day, it only feels right to give a nod to the finest bird of them all, wild turkey. No need to set your alarm for this one. Wild Turkey 101.
Yeah, I was going to say Big Bird.
8-year-old bourbon marks the return of the 101's brand's age statement, which had been absent since 1992. This expression is now a permanent line extension offered alongside the standard Wild Turkey 101, which carries no age statement but is said to include barrels aged between 6 and 8 years. A true reward for those who know that sometimes the best bird is found in a glass. I will admit it, I am biased when it comes to Wild Turkey. It is one of my top favorite distilleries, and the 101 lineup has a permanent place on my shelf. The 12-year export, exotic and refined. The 70th anniversary, absolutely divine. Even the standard 101 punches well above its price point and pairs beautifully with something like fried chicken. It is true daily workhorse. Now enter the Wild Turkey 101 8-year, and it does not disappoint. It takes everything I love about the standard and dials it in just a little bit more. Richer, deeper, more composed. For me, the extra few dollars are worth it, and if you already enjoy the core 101, this is an easy upgrade that rewards every sip.
Well, now I know it. I need to complete my fried chicken dinner.
There you go. All right, Odie,
Mm.
thank you so much. You know,
Thank you, Mark.
yes, whiskey and technology are a great pairing, just like cheese and wine
Oh
or
my gosh.
cheese and meat, all spread over a charcuterie board. All right, now, what's that? Don't you-
I'm surprised you were able to say that.
charcuterie board?
Yeah, you couldn't even
charcuterie?
say
Wow.
niche.
Wow. Wow.
You said niche.
You know
Wow,
what's
wow,
on
wow.
your charcuterie board? Cheese whiz.
Wow. No, we have some good rays. All right, you know what? Now we're going to forego the technology fail of the week, which is Tesla. And we're just going to make fun of Tesla for all their new driving cars that don't work. But we'll talk about that because there's still some pending stuff. But I want to go right now to our Nathan Nugget.
This is your Nugget of the Week.
All right, let's talk about this as we talked about it last week in our Two Truths and a Lie. The Trump phone is no longer promised that it's made in America. Now the T1 phone is, quote unquote, designed with American values in mind, which is not made in America. The Trump organization launched the Trump Mobile Wireless Carrier, its flagship phone, to be called the T1 phone. The 8002 Gold version, one of the phone's main selling points was that it was made in America under $500. We figured this was unlikely to be true and called it out last week.
Was it a lie?
And
Could it have been a lie?
It was a lie.
Oh,
and
dang
we're
it.
right. Sometime in the last several days, the Trump mobile site appears to have scrubbed all the language indicating the phone was made in the USA. Like, for instance, the huge banner on the homepage that says T1 is made in the USA. Just for one example. Instead, the Trump mobile website now has the T1 tagline, premium performance, proudly American. None of it's built in America, but it's designed with American proud individuals. And
what?
And it will have the hands of Americans touch it as it comes a part of their standard phone itself.
All right.
The
nice.
the 6.7 inch screen is gone.
That's your Amazon
It's
delivery
6.25 is now going to be the screen. 12
So now
gigabytes
it's
of RAM.
smaller, not made
smaller.
in America.
It doesn't have the 12
And
gigabytes
not-
of RAM.
yeah.
It's
It's
been
being
removed.
touched by Americans
That's not.
inappropriately.
Now, the badly photoshopped image of the phone hasn't changed, though, so that's still there. If you want to have one of these phones, the best part is that a American will deliver it to you at your doorstep.
Yeah, in America. Whatever.
So there's what you get for the phone. We talked about it last week. There's no way you can do a $500 mobile phone, and we were proven right. There you go. That is our Nathan Nugget. Be careful what you read. Be careful if someone promises you technology in America for a certain price point, because it may not be able to be there. Now, let's move on
Be
now.
careful of Nathan charcuterie boards.
All right, let's move on to our pick of the day whiskey tasting.
And now our pick of the day for our whiskey tastings. Let's see what bubbles to the top.
Rapid Fire Distillery is Campari Group, the Wild Turkey Distillery in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. 100 proof, 75% corn, 13% rye, 12% malted barley for $45.
Yeah, thumbs up.
Michael?
Yeah, I'm going to give it a thumbs up.
Yay!
Thumbs up.
I
There
mean,
you go.
You guys
Well,
are
it's-
becoming connoisseurs.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I have more of a meh
would say
feeling
no.
for this. It's really it's tasty, but
You're gonna
just
start dating
kinda-
it. Be careful. There's a dating
Oh.
app out there. You're gonna start dating it so much meta that you're gonna date the bottle.
I don't know where you came up with that.
Well, is
But,
that- is that considered
it's
meta?
it's not definitely on
That's
my
not
search
meta.
bar.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what, guys? We're out of time. We want to thank everyone for listening to our program today. You know what? You can't get this type of comedy anywhere else except for TechTime Radio. I'll just
What?
tell
Are you
that.
actually plugging yourself as a comedian again?
Well, we still have that stand-up.
Yeah, that's never going to happen.
That's never gonna
Oh, it was going to happen one of these days. I'll have somebody else AI write all my taglines. All right, here we go.
Yeah, that would be something you would do. And you know what? In today's society, you might be successful
I mean-
at it because people are stupid.
Oh, well. Wow, that's what we're heading it. People out there, just want to let you know, Mike thinks you're stupid.
Not our listeners. Not our listeners. I'm talking about other people.
Anybody that doesn't listen to us, he's saying it's stupid. There you go. Say that to your cohort next to you when you're listening to our podcast. Remember, the science of tomorrow starts with the technology of today. We're going to see you next week. Mike?
Oh, bye.
Thanks for joining us on TechTime Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment today in technology. The fun doesn't stop there. We recommend that you go to techtimeradio.com and join our fan list for the most important aspect of staying connected and winning some really great monthly prizes. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service, from Apple to Google and everything in between. We're also on YouTube, so check us out on youtube.com/techtimeradio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at TechTime Radio, remember, mum's the word. Have a safe and fantastic